Hello, hello, Mindset to Results, and this is episode number 13. And today, our guest is Jimmy Bingham. He is CEO of the very interesting company called Great Employees Matter. So, you can guess what we are going to speak today about employees' mindset and how to develop that greatness for be like when you are employee, yeah, and how to develop that great mindset and become great. Hi, Jimmy.
Good morning, Elena. How are you today?
Amazing, amazing. I'm looking forward to our fantastic conversation today.
Me as well.
Yeah, so tell me please about this company. How did you come with this idea to speak about employees' mindset and culture and how to help them to be great?
Well, without going too far in the past, how I arrived at this point where I created the company was 5 years ago. My mother contracted dementia, and um, I became her primary caregiver, and so I moved in with her. And over the next 3 years, I took care of her, and basically depleted all my savings, right? And then last year, in June of last year, the company that I had worked for a long time ended up not losing its license, and therefore they had to close. And so I found myself at 67 years of age, unemployed, with no savings and no income. So what do you do in that situation? You figure out,
Such a such adventure.
yeah. And so I had to figure out what I wanted to do, and I decided that I was going to be a motivational coach or a motivational speaker and a business coach. And then I wanted to know what I was going to focus on, and I realized that in my 50 years of experience, one thing that just always stood at the fore is that any company is only as good as its employees, and employees tend to be average, and I don't accept average, right? I want every employee to be exceptional or be great. And that's how I came up with Great Employees Matter.
Yeah, I like this name.
Thank you.
Yes, amazing. So it is interesting how from our challenges, yes, and I would say adventures, how we can come with interesting ideas, yes, and create something new which didn't exist before.
Yes. And it's worked out quite well, right? Because employees, they simply need a path, right? And our job is to teach the employee that they are more valuable than they understand, and to give them the tools so they can excel and be an exceptional employee that other employees strive to be like, right? So if they see an employee and they're working hard and the company is recognizing them and they're getting promotions, and they basically bring up all employees, all of their peers around them, and make them better employees as well.
Yeah, amazing. What do you think about this attitude for employees to do more than you are paid for?
Well, what we train employees to understand is that most employees are average, right? So it's really easy to become exceptional or become great if they can change their mindset. If they understand that if everybody else is average, it doesn't take an awful lot to become exceptional. And doing the little things like making sure that you're at work on time, making sure that you understand the corporate culture and you can deliver the corporate message. It doesn't matter where in the organization you are. It doesn't matter if you're the manager of the HR department or the head of accounting or the mail clerk. It doesn't matter where you stand as far as your level of employment. Every employee is important. And if the employee can understand that, let's take the mail clerk for example. If the mail clerk understands that he or she has a responsibility to do their job well because they have 800 pieces of mail that they have to go through in a day. And it's important for them to get the right mail to the right people, because if they don't do that, then they create inefficiency. When you create inefficiency, the people that you're giving the mail to get frustrated if they get the wrong piece of mail that they're supposed to respond to. And that employee needs to understand that they're an integral cog in the entire process. Um, So if we can instill that value in them, if we can make sure that they understand what the corporate culture is, if we can have them deliver, and then do the simple things like, if I'm done with my daily tasks at 4 o'clock and I have another hour of work, don't just sit there and do nothing. Go to your manager and say, I'm done with my tasks for the day. What can I do to help out anybody else? Or what can I do to educate myself so that maybe I can become promotable and do something, different in this organization? So we work on the employee to do that. But the real trick is working on the employer and educating the employer so that they understand that they have to create that cultural environment. They have to recognize employees that do well. They have to value the employee and show the employee that they do value them. And that's just going to make the employee want to perform better. And that will increase productivity, and that will end up increasing revenues, and that will make the company better. So we believe that great employees are the basis for a company to become a great company.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes such a big difference when people do their best, whatever they do, to do their best. And this is how
Absolutely.
this is, yeah. So this attitude will make them outstanding and make them very different from the average, right? Just this shift
That's
in
right.
attitude. Yes, and
That's right.
yes, and what I learned from my mentor Bob Proctor, who said that we should always do more than we are paid for. So not the opposite, like people say, like, okay, this is my like salary, this is what I get, so I just do this much, right? And if we just
That's
shift
right.
this opposite, and if we think what I can do the best, how I can overperform, how I can do what I can, right, and even more to grow and to expand. Yes, this is how it makes the difference. I don't have a big experience as employee myself because I had this mindset always that I always just worked for myself. I had businesses. I only one place where I worked was a university where I was teaching Persian language after I graduated from Tehran University and got my master degree in Persian philology. Philology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was the only place I worked. But I think these principles can be applied to everything. If we do our best, we will grow, and I think people will be noticeable and they will considerable as reliable, yes, and responsible. And like this leadership, it doesn't matter which position you have in the company, but you can be leader in everything you do. Just do it the best and take responsibility, have good attitude, be example, lead by example for other people around you. And this attitude, I think it is just something that everybody has to cultivate in their mind.
That's true. They cultivate it in their mind. They lead by example, and the company has a responsibility for cultivating that as well.
Yes, how do you think this link is between their performance and having big goals in life?
Well, one of our principles, as I mentioned before, is that the employee should undertake this endeavor to become excellent for themselves, not for the company, right? They need to do it for themselves. They need to appreciate how valuable that they are, because if they do that, then they will lead by example and bring other people along. And if they happen to work in a company that doesn't foster the same ideals that we try and teach both the company and the employee to strive through, they're making themselves better. They're making themselves more marketable. They're making themselves promotable, or they can work for somebody else. They can go out and find a job, and their reputation will precede them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important for them to recognize their own value, and therefore they can work on that greatness, and they can, we hate average. We want everybody to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, because they can. Everybody can be the best. Yes, so
That's right.
we just have to help them to understand that they are much more than they can even think about. Yes, like they have such a huge potential, and I think that to help people to bring the best on the surface from who they are, they should have some inspirational goals, have big goals, and see how they relate their performance at their job and achieving their big goals in their life, not only professional but also personal goals. So they don't need to be motivated from outside. When they are inspired inside, they have this energy and they have this inner willing, yeah, inner determination to do their best, because they know why they want to do this, because it is also related to their self-esteem and self-confidence, and also self-respect. Yes, like I think it is all related to standards. Yes, like everyone has standards, like we cannot see ourselves below certain level, yes, standards which we
Right.
have in our mind. So how do you help them to raise those standards, like how you help them to go from average to outstanding to great? It should be something related with their self-image, identity shift, and raising their standards, so they see themselves as that they deserve that person, to be that person, they deserve that attitude and respect, and also it affects their self-confidence and self-esteem.
That's true. That all of that is very, very true. And we help employees, in our consulting world, we teach employees to be 10x, right? Whatever their goals are, whether they be financial goals or personal goals, to 10x them. And if you think that you want to be a $100,000 a year employee, don't think that way. Think that you really can be a $1 million a year employee, right? And to take those steps to make sure that you're in the position to do that, whether you do that with a company or whether you go out and start your own company, right? You need to establish those goals, and every step along the way where you have achievements, measurable, marked achievements, then that's going to increase your own personal esteem, and it will help you rise to the level that you simply are an exceptional, great employee.
Yes, it all starts with the mind. Yes, and about believing. Yes, like one person, as you told, think about 100K, for example, uh, per year, and somebody can think about 1 million. So, what is the difference? Is in their mindset. It is just how they see themselves and how they see what is possible for them, right? So that person who thinks about million or 10 million, it is not that he is better or that he is smarter. It is just because he thinks about himself that he deserves. He sees himself as the person who making 1 million. And this is all his thoughts, feelings, and actions going from that place. And this is how they get there, because it is their standard, right? So what you do, how you help people to change those beliefs, that and see that they worth more, that they have to go for more, how you help them to set those big goals.
Well, one of the things we do is we have them complete a self-assessment so that they understand where they are today, where they think they are today. We go ahead and analyze the assessment, and then we help bring them and create a path for them to have those mindset changes and understand that they do have those abilities and that their only limitation really is themselves. And that, simple mindset changes like being committed to self improvement, right? Outside of the workplace, rather than coming home and watching Housewives of London, if there is such a thing, to go ahead and make a commitment every day to spend 15 minutes reading a book about self improvement or self awareness or anything that's going to improve themselves, because any education that you receive is yours. You own it. Nobody can take that knowledge away from you. But oftentimes people don't even think about that. And so we help go through those steps and let them know what they can do to make themselves a better individual. And from that self-assessment, then we can identify those areas in their lives, both their personal life and their work life, where they may be deficient and they may be falling into the trap of being average as to following the path of greatness.
Yes, and another thing is that people are creatures of habit, right? And it takes time to help them to start acting different, because what we do is not what we know. Yeah, we can know so many things, but it doesn't matter that we will start doing that. And changing people behavior is not easy. It takes time and it takes efforts, because those paradigms, so-called multitude of habits, which are deeply rooted in our subconscious mind and which control almost all our behavior, yes, control our habitual behavior, and most of our behavior is habitual. So how how long time it takes to uh, for them to start implementing these new principles, this new attitude, creating new habits, because I know that uh, in order to change the habits, we cannot just write the list of all the 20 habits, for example, which we want to change and just start changing them, right? We can
Mhm.
only work one or maximum two habits at a time. And it takes time, like it takes, like some people say 21 days, but I would say that it is three times 21 days. Like it is 63 days to do every day the new thing, and put effort for that, put your energy for that. So in time, this new habit will replace the old one. And this is when it becomes habitual, then we start working on the new one. So what is this process? How you help them to really start doing things differently?
Well, we've created a course that almost requires them to go in and learn something from our course every day. And every day, we only ask for 15 minutes of their time. And in that 15 minutes, we give a motivational quote, and then we apply that quote into the workplace, and we start working on their mind. We start making sure that they understand through repetition what they need to know. One of the adages that we use is, you don't know what you don't know, right? So we want to provide that education. We want to provide a means of communication from them to us, and then establish that same level of communication between them and their employer, because they need to know about themselves, they need to know about their employer, they need to know what they can do to help themselves and to benefit the employer themselves.
Yes, exactly. So through repetition, you help them to get one idea, and through repetition, started implementing it and become aware, right? Like become aware and observing what they do on daily basis, and become aware how they often they implement these things during the day.
That's Yes,
Yes.
that's very, very, very important.
Yes, repetition is power. Yes, because it is not what we know. and usually why traditional trainings don't have big effect, because people just, if they just go for the training, they can be excited, motivated, and after that just 1 week pass and they didn't change anything. Yeah, they just actually forgot what even they heard there, because it is not information, it is implementation. And I liked how you said that, through repetition. So the new idea we have to impress into our subconscious mind through repetition again and again, become aware of this. Mark, I done this, I done this, I done this. Yeah, so, and then in time it become your new habit that will work for you. Yeah, amazing. Yes, anything else you would like to share for employees to become great?
To all you employees, make sure that you are great. Just do not be average. Do not accept average. Take average out of your vocabulary, because each and every one of you can and is great. Your greatness lies within you, and we will help you go ahead and become great. We'll help you change that mindset so that you appreciate how great you can become, and there's no limit.
Yeah, you are great, and also you are genius. Yes, you are genius
Oh,
and unique. And as there
that's
is no same snowflake, yes, can you imagine how many snowflakes or how many
oh, I
leaves
like
on
that.
the, and there is no one again the same, right? So every person is also was created and given unique talents and gifts. And when you discover your uniqueness, what is your genius, what are your unique talents and gifts, and it is always related to what you love to do. So to
Mhm.
make it simple, I believe this, that if we really want to help people to be great at whatever they do, we should help them to find what they're good at. So it is not like the fish is told that it is not good because it cannot climb the tree, right? But the fish is not supposed to climb the tree, right? So that is why I think it is so important for people to find what is their strength is, what is their genius is. And I like that there are different tests. For example, one which I like and I use it with my clients is the wealth dynamic test, which shows just within few minutes what is your genius. And when people understand, oh, this is my strength, this is my
Mhm.
genius, so I
Mhm.
have to focus on that. And when they have this clear, so they don't feel anymore like that fish which cannot climb the tree, right? So, and when they understand, oh, I can swim, this is my power, I can dive, I can do so many things, right, in my area. And this, I think, when they really can go full and with confidence and understand that this is their genius, this is their power, right? And this is how we can help people to grow and achieve amazing results.
That's true. We do the same thing. We help people find what we refer to as their superpower, right? Everybody has a superpower. Everybody has something that is unique to them and that can be nurtured and developed that no one else can really do the same way that any individual can do. And so we help people identify what that superpower is. And sometimes it's communication. Sometimes it's, accounting. Sometimes it's everybody has a different superpower, a different ability to relate both within themselves and externally. And if we can help them identify what that is, then we can also help nurture what that superpower is and develop that passion, right? For them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, very true. I love this word passion. Yeah. So if you do job and if you don't feel that you have passion and if you don't like to do it, just leave your job and find something else what you really love to do, and then start implementing this what we discussed, that attitude, yes, discipline, there's set big goals to get that inside inspiration and be great.
Absolutely. We think alike, Elena.
Yes, yes, we always become what we think about. So think big. My favorite book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It is amazing book, and everybody can learn so much from that. And also, we learned a lot today from this conversation. Thank you, Jimmy, so much to be with us today and share your life experience and your expertise, and we will see you again one day.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate being on your podcast and look forward to meeting you someday.
You're most welcome.